be straight up honest with you guys. The last time you saw the layout, it was kinda mid. I know I said I didn't want to add grass and all of that. Things have changed, of course. Every time you guys see my layout, something is drastically different, and don't expect things to be different this time. Being completely and totally honest with you guys, I'm one of those people who, whenever they're down or maybe in a rut, decide to throw themselves into a project. And recently, unfortunately, my dog passed away, so of course I was a bit down. And as such, for a while I was back and forth on what I wanted that new project to be. What I ended up ultimately doing was deciding to make a layout that was, well, worthy of being called a layout. The reason I didn't add grass last time really was because I didn't want to use a grass mat, but had never really experimented with turf or used anything that wasn't already pre-made. Over time, this was something that kinda bugged me, so it was inevitable that I'd eventually crack and make a new one, and do my best to get a lot more hands-on than I had before, with almost any layout I had ever made. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce I've gotten pretty far into that, and if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen quite a few updates on it, but I figured it's worth making an actual video for it too. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's finally take another look at my layout, or as I like to call it, well, I actually don't have a name for it yet. It's kind of just a branch line. I don't know what it is. Just you'll see. Let's go ahead and jump into it. I guess we'll start with where I started. After a quick trip to the hobby store, I picked up the Woodland Scenics 4x8 Mountain Ridge, which as a kit makes a mountain, a tunnel, and a small ridge. I guess the name Mountain Ridge kind of works, doesn't it? This kit provided all of the groundwork I would need to make both, but of course I would add a little bit to mine. The first thing I did was use the cutouts that the kit provided, and applied that where I wanted the tunnel to go. I stuffed this with newspaper, different bags, even Van shoeboxes, as you can see, which ultimately would make the tunnel, and once that was done, taped it all off. The kit comes with Woodland Scenics plaster cloth, which is also what I used to make the mountain surface. This took quite a bit of time, and the tunnel itself used a whole roll, so I had to go buy more for the ridge. But as a material, was very easy to use and very quickly had the mountain made. After I got more plaster cloth, the ridge was made, and next would come painting both. With the rock surfaces, I decided to paint them both black and then go over them with a gray primer. I used the gray primer a bit more sparingly though, I guess to replicate smaller dig-ins or caves. Next, a layer of brown paint was added to both, to simulate a sort of dirt, and then to the entire table, and of course following this came the grass, which also was provided in the kit, specifically the medium green coarse accent, which was put over the entire table, and layered on until I got it where I wanted it to be. Next came ballasting the tracks, which I did with Kato ballast, and another layer of green to tidy that up, as well as a bit of brown and yellow grass to try to mix it up a bit. This all was glued down with Scenic cement, and very quickly I would start making bushes and shrubs with clump foliage. Then came other small details like telephone poles and trees, but if there's one thing every layout needs, it's light. And of course, pretty quickly the engine house was lit up too, even having a few lampposts outside of it. I also decided to add a light to the coaling depot I made, which resides on one of the sidings, and my favorite light up feature of all is the pillboard in the middle, which displays a owl smoking a cigar. What a vibe, and that soon will be joined by many other details too, but I don't want to spoil too much yet. Since then, I've added quite a bit more, like more trees, even a lorry on the side of the cliff, as well as these trees which were inspired by Haunted Henry, and will continue to add things as I go. Since this layout is largely just what I want it to be, it's not really based on anything, which means anything could be in it, so expect a lot. So far I've even got deer. I'm hoping that's just scratching the surface with what this layout will be though, and now that I've made it this far into it, hopefully I can't go back now. I'm happy to have a layout I'm finally more satisfied with, and that hopefully I won't ever want to change. I feel like the layouts I made previously kept changing because there was so much I wanted them to be. What I wanted this layout to be was just that. So hopefully from here on out, the updates will be a little easier to follow. And with all of that being said, let's see the layout in action. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for even more train content. And I'm happy to say I'm finally back to making content again. Like I said before, I've been pretty down lately and wanted to take a step back to make sure I was really all there. You can't really give 100% of yourself if you don't have it. But thankfully I'm thinking I'm pretty well past that. And working on this layout and this project has been a huge help. So hopefully you guys enjoy seeing where I've been, and hopefully I actually stick with it this time and it's not all for nothing. But I really have a feeling this time it won't be. And if you guys have any recommendations, be sure to leave them down below. Really quick, as always, I want to give a huge shout out to my patrons. Videos and projects like this would not be possible without them. And if you ever want to support the channel more, consider checking that out too. I feel like I'm rambling now, so as always guys, thanks again for watching. And with all of that being said, hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.